Welcome back, viewers, and it's a big hello to any new first-time viewers. It's pretty exciting times. FS22 has just been released on the PSN as a free game for October, or it shall be. So I thought, well, why not revert back to my FS22 for Dummies series. We'll just run through a couple of things for first-time players just to get you up and started. So obviously this is the loading screen. I'll try to keep this down to not too long, but we're going to run through a couple of things, just like the settings and just things that make it easy to start with, and just what's what, I suppose, because it'll save you a little bit of time. So hopefully this won't take too long, so I don't have to waffle on with bullshit for much longer. But hopefully it'll kick us into the game any moment, and we'll be off and running. But yeah, I've played this since 2015, I think. 15, 16, 17. There's a nice sort of intro movie you can watch if you want to get fired up. But then we'll come into this screen here, and what we're interested in is a few things. There's career, multiplayer, downloadable content. When you first start off, don't worry about all that other, just hit career. It's going to ask you for a spot to save. Just pick an empty slot. Might go for number 4. Now this is fairly important. You've got 3 options here. You just read them, you know. The first one starts you off with the basic stuff you need. Second one you get, I think, a little bit of stuff and some money, and the third one you get a lot of money and not much stuff. So we're going to go new farmer. There's your maps. This is the map screen. Now what maps you have will be there, the dots along the centre. So your first 3 maps that you get when you first start is Elm Creek, Hort, Baylor-Ron, I think it's pronounced, and Ellengrad. So you'll probably have those 3. There are other maps. There's one here, Silver Run Forest is a DLC, a Platinum Expansion map. Very nice map, yeah. But anyway, let's go with Elm Creek just for the hell of it. We won't worry about that for the moment. They're the mods that I've got downloaded, but we're not going to do too much in the first episode, so we'll skip that bit. Yeah, mods are a great thing, but I sort of suggest that you get on and play the game and learn how to use things, and just go without mods. Because it's just easier. Depends, you might want to go straight to the mod hub and download all this shit, and the main thing about this game is you can play it how you want, but if you sort of want to figure out the basics, I found it was better just to just go with the basic sort of stuff and think, oh, what does that do, and oh, how do you do this, and blah blah blah. And then it turns out that once you do go to the mod hub, you understand what you're actually looking at. Otherwise you think, what the fuck's that thing? What does that do? You might have a general idea, or you may not have ever seen it before, even when you start this way. So, but yeah, just my recommendations are start slow, don't rush. Take it easy and try everything out. You might not like doing sheep, or you might want to come on just for logging, but give the other stuff a go too, because you might have a preconceived idea about what you like, but you might find that some of the other stuff's alright too. It's a very complete sort of game. They've got, depending on different maps and mods, you can do animal orientated, you can do crop orientated, you can do forestry. There's construction stuff nowadays where you don't actually get to build anything, but it's a lot of truck driving and carrying bulk materials from one sort of production plant to another, and sometimes you have to make those materials, and there's a lot involved in it. A lot of people think it's just sitting on a tractor and going backwards and forwards on a field, and they think, oh fuck, I don't know if I'll be up for that. But no, once you get into it, hopefully you'll enjoy it. Now this takes a long time. I probably should have cut this bit out, but hey, we're coming in now. 95%. Woo! Okay, 100%, go, bang. This is the character creator. I'm not going to go through it all, but if you know, it always says the little buttons like R1 takes you up and down, R1, L1 for up and down. Just pick your dude. You know, they've got hats and boots and shoes and the usual shit. Do you want to do the tutorial? I suggest if you're a first time player, I'd say yes. But me being a pro, I'm going to go no. So here we are. This is the main farm at Elm Creek. Got a few things on the screen there. We've got obviously that it's sunny in the top right. It's August. The time is 8:03. And how much money we've got is 100k. So this is a field. This has got some, I'll tell you what it's got in it. Owned by you, ready to harvest, wheat, needs lime. Everything's pretty self-explanatory. You know, this is a silo. You know, you're not going to believe it, but this is a tractor. But so let's have a look. We'll go through some of what the actual stuff up the top means and some of the settings. So if we go here, you've got two lots. You've got the options button or the touchpad. This is a map of what this place looks like. Now, I'm not going to go into all the, you can work it all out. Different colours match different crop types and blah, 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 you know. So you've got, that's your map. It's one of the things when picking mod maps, you might like big square fields, you might like a lot of little fields, you might like a lot of forestry. By looking at this, you can see that there's a lot of different size fields. Some are big, some are small, not much forestry. That's usually the green round things. They're supposedly trees. There's all different sections to the map. You know, this is actually a good map to set up different farms because of the different corners, but that's another story. This is where you can send your workers to a certain place. I have to watch a whole different video on that because that can get quite technical. Next up, we've got the crop calendar, which is when you can plant and when you harvest. We've got the weather forecast. This is pretty important here. This is what your current price is. So wheat's selling for Feed and Grain South 14.24, Goldcrest Valley 16.97. So you pick your best price. And then the other thing you can do here is if you'll see it's all self-explanatory down the bottom. Show price fluctuations. There you go. There's your sell high, sell low. So we're getting the worst possible price in August, and we're getting the highest price in January. So if you can, you'll put your wheat in your silo and hold it there until you need it. The other thing you can do here is say you go, all right, I want to sell my wheat and I want to sell it at, you know, let's say we'll go to Feed Grain South, right? Where the fuck's that? We'll see down the bottom, there's an X there, you cross that. And when you come out of here, there'll be a big green, you might not necessarily be able to see it, but look at that. See that laser beam? That's where Feed Grain South is. So you get in your tractor, you put in your bloody wheat, and you go nuts and head that way. Once you get there, you'll be where you wanted to be. Okay, so next up we've got, this is just what vehicles you own and how much they're worth and how much time they got on them and their maintenance, you know, blah blah. This is your like expenditure page. I don't think I've ever looked at this, you know, it just tells you what's going in, what's coming out. This is if you have animals, it'll show you the status level of your animal pens, as in like they need feed, they need water, they're getting older, they're producing, they're not producing. Contracts is important. You can do these contracts for other people. Now the most important thing about this is good to learn how to do different things. If you haven't done baling or if you haven't done spraying, or they'll give you the equipment to use. So you'll see on the right there now, baling contracts have always got a ton of equipment. Now this guy, you can rent his stuff for $50, he'll take off the price, but look at all the shit you got to get there. Fertilising, a lot easier, but you've got to supply the fertiliser. Harvesting, once again, they'll give you a harvester, a header, a trailer to take it there. Spraying's a nice easy one. You get in this whopping big fucking thing, fill it up with herbicide and go and do the field, but they take a bit of dough out of your money. You've got a choice on the bottom. See, it says triangle borrow items or just accept the contract. Once you get to a certain percentage, when you go back to this, once you accept one, underneath that picture of that dude, there'll be a line. that'll fill up, and once you get to 100% you can cash in a contract and get paid. This is production chains. Once again, same thing. If you've got a dairy that makes cheese, you go to here, it'll look and tell you how much, without having to drive there, you can see how much milk you've got in there and how much cheese it's making. And yeah, that's a lot to do with production chains. We can get into that later on if you like. Statistics, this is all just bullshit. I don't know what, yeah, don't worry about it. Number of trees cut down, that's important, like, now this, here we go. So, you can put the name of your game in. Save interval, I'll leave it at 15. Time scale, I usually play at 2 or 3. You can go real time, goes all the way up, 15 times seasonal. Now, once you get up here, say you want to go faster because, the rain's going to clear up in 2 hours according to the weather. You can bung it up to 360. Just remember to turn it back down, because otherwise you'll fly through the days and the nights. Like, it's not like day, night, day, night, day, night, but it's, you'll be thinking, oh, fuck it, yeah, the rain stopped, just get your harvester out. And what do you mean? It's night time. So, like, I tend to go on 3 times. Economy's up to you. I'd leave it on easy to start with. That affects the prices, and it affects them fairly drastically. Like, if you look at the wheat price, it was 1400. If you put it on normal, it'll probably drop to around 1000, and if you put it on hard, it'll go down to about 700-800. So traffic on or off, well, that's obvious what that does. Seasonal growth, that's the calendar. You can turn that calendar that tells you when to plant stuff and when not to plant stuff on or off. I always leave it on because it makes the game. See, all the things, I'm just going through this quickly, but all the things here are written on the other side. On the right hand side there, I go 1 day a month. You can go 2, you can go 3, I think you can go 30, but nothing will happen. Say you have wheat in the ground and you're waiting for it to grow. If you go 10 days a month, that's going to be 10 days on the game before you get to the next month where your wheat has gone to the second stage. So I just go, a day's a long time, you get a lot done. Fixed visual month, don't know what that means. Snow on or off, I always leave it on. Now these ones are important. Crop destruction, I always turn off, because if you drive over it, it rips up all your ground, and if you're going for realism and you're a purist, we'll leave it on. But if you don't want to tear up half your shit and you can't drive over it, or you've got to go round your fields all the time, I put the ploughing on because it makes a bit more realism. Field stains up to you, on or off. It's a bit of a pain in the arse. At this stage I'd turn it off because it's just another step you need to go through. Lime required, it's up to you, on and off. I leave it on. And weeds, at this stage, when you're first starting out, I'd definitely go off because they're a big pain. This is all sort of bullshit, automatic engine start, dirt, normal. This is important. You can get artificial intelligence workers, and say you put them in a fertiliser sprayer, and then you've filled the sprayer up, you've gone to the field, and off you go, right? You press circle and off goes the guy. Now, he will either use the stuff that's in the sprayer, and when he runs out, he'll stop, or you can set here that he will buy, you'll see fuel, fertiliser, slurry, manure. He'll buy stuff for it to keep it going. The problem is you will then be paying for the seeds, for instance, and the worker. So, and if you do it yourself, it comes out of the total that's in the machine. If you get a worker and you put it on not to buy, it'll come out of the total in the machine, or put it on buy and he'll just go. And the machine will, if you put 1,000 litres in it, it'll never change from 1,000 litres. But the money will be ticking up. You'll notice the difference in the money. So that's about enough of that sort of stuff, I reckon. Go down again. More settings. The most important ones here, well, if you're colourblind, they're obvious, I had to leave all them on. The help window is important. I'll show you that in a moment, but there's your money. Radio on or off, blah blah. Radio stations are alright for the first couple of times you play it, but then they get a bit sort of... And there's just a little thing there on, like, what do you want to do, how to starting contracts. It's similar to what I'm going through here, but just like a shorter, more concise version, I suppose. And yeah, always you save and quit here. I always double save and then quit because there's nothing worse than like spending 3 days farming and then suddenly you're blue screen. So each time you change menus, but it normally saves. So we'll get out of there and then we'll go to the opposite one. Okay, this one is, I don't know why this is even here, but it's a certain sort of thing. It's like different brands. If you want to, oh fuck, I'm having a John Deere farm. You can go to this and you can pick all John Deere stuff. You know, like this is, get in here and muck around. This is stuff you can buy. This is all base game stuff. Say we press tractors just for the hell of it. There's all your little tractors. Right, and then you got big tractors, small tractors, big tractors. Next one down is the attachments and tools. Covers everything. You know, trailers, grass stuff, things for front end loaders, animal transport. You know, like I said, this is not for me to show you what to do. This is where you just get in and have a look. Here you get big bags of stuff and bales. Like say you press this one, you can buy bales rather than making your own. So say you need some grass for your sheep or hay for your horses, you can buy it. You also buy big bags and pallets of like fertiliser and all that sort of stuff, pig food. Down here's like, oh, I'll tell you what, Ranger, I want to grow cotton. So, what do I do to grow cotton? Well, I'm glad you asked. There you go. You'll need one of all of those and go nuts. You'll be on doing cotton, you know. You pick out of this shows you the cotton stuff. Say, for instance, you want to do grass. You'll need a mower, a forage wagon, a pickup thing, a tractor. So yeah, that's a good little starting thing just to show you what you can use. This is the second-hand shop. This is probably one of the most important things because you can get some cheap stuff. Like look at that, 64% off a semi-trailer. Well, you can't go wrong with that. And it's a nice semi-trailer too. Check it out. If it ever comes up, look at that. That's a beauty. Who wouldn't pay 31,000 for that? And next is what you own. So there's what we've got. This is some of your lease items. It says up the top what it is. It comes up here. That's your mods and DLCs. This is your construction menu. Now this is something we'll spend a bit more time in, but there's the main section is this construction section here when you want to move things around and build things and that. It always takes a while to load, especially if you've got a fair few mods loaded. But it just gives you this oversight and you can pick buildings, productions, animal pens, shit like that. So anyway, that's enough of that shit. So I'll just, yeah, figure out what we're going to do next. So I've just changed out of our gum boots into a pair of work boots, and this is the sleep trigger. So if you some houses you can go in, this one you can't. But if you press click on this L3, it'll ask you what time you want to sleep to in the morning. So that's important. But let's get into it and just start a little bit of stuff off. So here we go. We're in our harvester. Now, one of the most important things when you're first starting out is you press your options button, and we go. Where do we go? The cog. Go to the top. This usually comes up straight away. I can't believe it's not. Help window on. Alright, so out we go. Now you'll see we've got a window on the left. Tells you how to attach things. Okay. There we go, that's attached. Hire worker, select camera, you know. Unfold harvester. There we go. Yeah. Lower header. Turn on harvester. And then go. Now, hopefully, usually my videos I usually cock something up, but it's actually working, so this is amazing. So there you go, you go along here, and if you think, geez, I need to be over there planting that next field, well, all we do is hire a AI worker, which is circle, and look at that, he's doing it automatic. I can jump out and run along beside. And what they tend to do here, they've set everything up for you, like first up, like here, this field here needs lime and ploughing, you know, normally I do that first, but if you don't want to, just jump in this thing and plant some seed. The other thing you can do is they've set another tractor up down here for it's ready to go to plough. You must own these three small fields. Matter of fact, I might go through that before we jump off. I'll just show you what you own. So there's another tractor here with a plough attached, so you can cultivate that. That's the trailer for the header off that thing. You've got to somehow manoeuvre that onto there. But here's the most important bit for the moment. Jump in the tractor just by now you'll see here we've got to attach the trailer. Once you attach it, open the cover. You can't get nothing in with the cover on it, and away we go. If you press R3, it goes to what I refer to as speed racer view. You can drive like this if you want, but I find it almost impossible. Now normally you'd wait till that guy was full. He'll stop when he's full, or you can be impatient and drive along beside him and he'll empty out into the trailer. Then you take the trailer over and you'll be prompted to empty it into that silo. It's all pretty easy. See, there's the pipe coming out. Now, I'm not real good at this, but yeah, there you go. It's going into the trailer. Now that thing probably won't even fill up with this small load, but head over here to the silo. Now one important thing is on the top left above the control panel, you'll see if you press triangle, it goes to the tractor. Normally it does. It goes to the tractor or goes to the trailer. Maybe it's not doing it now, but I hate reversing these trailers. But see there, self-explanatory once again. R1 and triangle. We're now emptying our wheat out into the silo. Then when it comes time to sell it, you get it all out of the silo or take it directly over there when your trailer's full. So there you go. Just one thing before we do go is on the map, which is on the options button, there's a few options here. There's select, move the cursor, farmland. If you press L3 and then it'll show you what you own in blue. So that's, you can buy or sell this, but yeah, you own that section there. So we zoom in, it's got that field, and that field. So you've got three fields, and see later on, once you expand a little, if you come out here and click on that and then press R3, that's 56,000 to buy it, and then that becomes incorporated in your blue stuff. If you want to buy this field here, it costs 226,000, and then it too becomes incorporated in your blue stuff. So that's how you tell what you own. And you know, this ain't yours, that's water. Dickhead. Anyway, that's enough for now. Hope it helps. Yeah. I don't know how it's going to go, but as always, thanks for watching.